What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you my week 4 in the APA Little Cup Wi-Fi League. This week we've got a game where we're just hoping to bounce back. We're 2-1 right now. We unfortunately picked up our first loss last week, but this week I like our odds a lot better. This week we're going up against SVTornado, coach of the Vancouver Rookidees. Roster, as you can see, consists of Wingull, Charmander, Skirpy, Lillipup, Pinchim, Galarian, Meowth, Sandshrew, Phantom, Lotad, and Spritzy. So obviously, there's this Wingull, which is just like a very fast utility, great Mon. Can sort of do a lot. Doesn't do everything particularly well, but it still can do some solid work. Obviously, thankfully, it doesn't get Drizzle until it evolves, so we don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. But we also see Spritzy, which is on the other end of the team, very slow, but it's a great Mon in Trick Room, so it'll just be tough. As you can see, Wingull's Dual Stab kind of just does a number to this team, between me just not having a good electric type, and then it's just like kind of fast, and Hurricane Hydro Pump just hits really hard. So yeah, without further ado, I say let's just get right into our first Mon, which is the Diglett. We have to be Jolly Diglett this week, which is fine, but we've got EQ, Aerial Ace, Stealth Rock, Rock Slide, which really just does a number to this team. I was considering Sludge Bomb over Stealth Rock or Aerial Ace, but this was just Aerial Ace was just doing more to more consistently. The only thing that it really helped was Spritzy the roll. Instead of going from like 34 to 50, it was going from like 37 to 50. So yeah, it didn't really change too much. But yeah, Rock Slide can OHKO the Wingull, which otherwise it can switch out just because it's a flying type. So that's something that I'm probably going to forget mid-game, but it can in fact switch out. And then setting up and then just like not setting up, just potentially setting up rocks. But we're Life Orb this week to help with the rolls, which means we aren't Focus Sash, so any Scarfer could potentially catch us off guard. But we've run Focus Sash every other week, so I'm hoping that Life Orb can catch them off guard. Up next, Carvanha, which is our other Life Orb holder this week, which means that some of our other mons that might want Life Orb can't grab it this week, but that's fine. We've got Crunch, Liquidation, Psychic Fangs, and Protect. Very similar set to what we ran last week, but this week I want Protect just so I can outspeed that Wingull guaranteed, and then fire off a strong Crunch into it once it's sort of slightly weakened. But other than that, the other things that need to be weakened are Spritzy, really, and that's kind of about it for Carvanha to clean. The team is going to be a late game cleaner, and we're just going to hope that it can sort of just put in a ton of work, sort of like how it did in week 1 where it picked up 3 kills. But yeah, next up we have Oddish, Mr. Tier 1 Slayer himself, Oddish. This week, tough task taken on Spritzy. Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Sleep Powder Synthesis. Sludge Bomb is doing like 50% to Spidef Spritzy, so that'll be a 2-hit KO, and it can't 2-hit KO. And we outspeed, or we should, unless it's a max speed Spritzy. And then we can OHKO, or not OHKO, we can 2-hit KO with Sludge Bomb. Sleep Powder, just to put things to sleep, and then Synthesis to heal myself back up. Should consistently get the job done fairly well. But yeah, that is my Oddish set. And let's get on to our next one, which is Natu, which this week is holding an Eviolite, with Air Slash, Heat Wave, Psychic, U-Turn. Really just does a number. We've got to watch out for Wingull, but other than that, just really, it does so much damage with its dual stab to this team. Heat Wave came for something, blanking, but it did come for hitting stuff, and then U-Turn to just turn out for momentum when we're not taking Life Orb Chip is really nice. And we should be able to take hits slightly better this week just because we are Eviolite, especially in this Spidef where we invested a single point. But yeah, that should hopefully help us out, just doing damage and keeping momentum up. Up next, Litton. It was the star of the show last week. Hopefully it can do similarly well with Sim set, pretty much just rocking fake out over what's it called, over crunch, because I didn't need it this week. Acro actually does a surprising amount of stuff, but like really blitzing, as long as we've got Wingle sort of taken care of, which is easier said than done, but we definitely have counterplay options. As long as we got Wingle sort of handled, we should be all good to just win. Hopefully, that's kind of the goal. Wingle is a massive threat, and like I could just kind of straight up lose to Wingle, but I think I have enough counterplay so that it shouldn't be that bad. And then lastly, we have our Machop, which is scarfed this week with Dynamic Punch for great stab, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, especially for that Wingle, and then Poison Jab. This thing is is most likely going to be my lead, and hopefully we can just take something out early. We'll probably just be clicking Dynamic Punch unless we're in front of Spritzy or Wingle, just so we can try to get Thunder Punches off, Poison Jabs off. But yeah, Dynamic Punch is just such a strong stab move, especially with Confusion. If we got luck today, I'm not sure how that'll go, but if the luck does happen to be with us, hopefully we can just kind of pull something out and do fairly well. But yeah, that is my team, and then I will see you guys in the game. Alright, and we are connected. Let's get right into the battle. I'm bringing the squad that I went over in the team builder. We just gotta hope that we can pull this off. Biggest issue is the Wingle. Let's just see. There's no way that they don't bring the Wingle or the Spritzy, but outside of that, I'm not really sure what comes. So it'll be interesting to see, because they've got a pretty strong roster. I could see anything coming, really. That was quick enough. Team preview time. Let's go. We see Spritzy, Panchams, Wingle, Sandshrew, Meowth, and Skorupi. Pancham, Wingle, Sandshrew, Meowth, and Skorupi. Did any shed shells come this week? Meowth might have one. I'm comfortable just leading my Machop though. And let's get into it. And alrighty. What mons do we see? Wingle lead. I will just fire off a Thunder Punch into this thing. I don't care if Sandshrew wants to come in on me. Potentially dealing with this Wingle early on, I have to take it. Sandshrew could come in, that'd be fine. But we just get it. Unless it's Sash. It is not. Perfect. Sandshrew comes out just as predicted. This thing probably just wants to set up its rocks, doesn't it? It's gonna set up rocks or go for a knockoff. And I think, does it go for EQ here? Probably not. I'll just go out into my Natsu and hope that it didn't click knockoff. But yeah, my guess is rocks. Sandstorm, that's interesting. That's a solid bring. Chip on my Natsu could be kind of annoying. It's doing 2 a turn, I think. No, just 1. Okay. What wants to make use of Sandstorm? Does this thing have like Sand Veil? Is Meteor Beam is 1 turn in sand, I believe. But I could be wrong on that. It just goes for a knockoff. This thing gets our Eviolite. Didn't realize how fast Sandshrew was. As we get it to use Berry Juice. That's fine. We're just gonna go down to 1 HP. Like, this is a speed tie. I'm gonna go for Air Slash again. Is it not? Did I just bring a bad Natu set or something? Sandshrew is a very bulky Pokemon. But even then. Should I just click Protect into Liquidation? The issue is if that doesn't kill. I think Oddish is just my safe play. He's probably going to get my Eviolite, which is slightly unfortunate. But I'll just fire off a Giga Drain. Drain Train. He goes for an EQ, doesn't even want to take my Eviolite. That's really nice. We take 10, which is a solid chunk, but Giga Drain should do a good amount back. We actually do just Oko. That's really nice. Oddish, like I've been saying all season, putting out the finest of work at each and every game. What do I want to go into on this thing? I'm fine just getting this thing intimidated. It's probably going to want to try to set up maybe T-Spikes, but Oddish can absorb those, obviously. We get the Intimidati off. And it just goes for a knock. It's fine. We can fire off a very strong Acrobatics now. I'll fire off a Fake Out actually just to get Chip in case this thing, I'm not sure what exactly it's running. But just firing off a Fake Out for some strong Chip. I know Vinny is going to get mad at me, but honestly, the Chip is worth it on whatever. They do switch into Buttercup. That is the Spritzy. And do we get some chip on that? We do, about 3 or 4 damage. That's a crit. Okay. Honestly, this thing might go for TR. I'm just gonna Blitz. And then we can bring Oddish in when we die. If we die. That just seems like very solid course of action. Blitzing this thing should just do a chunk to it no matter what. We do get the Blitz. And they set up a Reflect. That's fine. I'm going to Parting Shot out now. Yeah. I will... No, I misclicked. Fuck. That was a misclick. Whatever. That doesn't do anything. Damn. They're going to Wish now. Damn, they just go for a Psychic. That's fine. I'll just click. Do I want to save this Intimidate? They haven't clicked Light Screen yet. I'll just Parting Shot into Oddish. That'll do, obviously, the little animation. Nice. And then we can just go Oddish. Attack. Special attack. And it comes back. Not quite at full HP Oddish, but it's fine. We've got an Eviolite, we're max Bedef. They click Moonblast. Perfect. Very strong. We only take 2. Do they just let me have this? Or are they going to fodder something to sleep? I think I'll just try to sleep something. And if they let me have this, great. They do switch. Let's see if we can hit the Sleep Powder. James, is that the Meowth? It is. Okay. We hit it. Perfect. Diglett should just be able to come in and take this now. Unless it's Shed Shell, of course, but... yeah. I'll just go Diglett, try to take this Meowth. Here I am. As they stay asleep, so they could very well be... they wear off the Reflect. Do I just want to get my rocks up here? No, I'll just EQ, take this thing, honestly. One turn sleep would be really annoying, which is why I don't, because losing my Diglett would be fairly annoying. But we do just take them, yeah. So, yeah, what do they bring in? Baby Shifu? Is that Pancham? Aerial Ace should just... EQ probably just does more, though. What do I exactly have for a Pancham switch in? Nothing at the moment, which is why I'm just gonna click EQ into this thing. It might Drain Punch me, it might bulk up. Might even as D. We just Quake it though, and that should just do some solid damage to it. Yeah, that's like 3/4. Do they just decide to KO us? They go for Ice Punch, okay. And bye bye Diglett. I'll just go into this thing. Just clicking EQ seems like my play. It's just like very neutral into everything. I could go P-Jab as well, but if Skorupi comes in, that would be kind of a pain. But if we potentially get Spritzy, honestly. They don't switch? Okay. Does that KO? Yeah, it does. And they do go Skorupi, okay. I'm locked into Poison Jab, so at this point I'm fine just foddering off my Litten. Let's see. Cool, we get the Intimidate off, and then we go down. Fine, fine by me. And then we get Skorupi to kill us, so we are dead now, but that's honestly fine by me. I'll just swap this in. I gotta click Protect because I do feel like they are... we do Speed Tie, and I'll just guarantee win the Speed Tie. Does Bug resist Psychic? I'll just click Crunch. Afterwards. They go for a Cross Poison. We do Protect ourselves. We get a Speed Boost off. Do we KO here? Nah, we don't. We barely do half. And I forgot to change my Speed EVs. Or not my Speed, my HP IVs, whatever. They eat with the berry juice. We only take like half though, so we are honestly chilling. I thought that we would just flat die, but whatever. Psychic Fangs is super effective. What was I doing? It tells me in game. Psychic Fangs comes out, and we do Zoko. Whatever. KOs, what were you called? And then Spritzy comes out, it's at like half, probably eats honestly one of these liquidations, but I'll go for it. And if it eats, it eats. If not, I'll give him a chop, the final kill, unless it's at Trick Room, but it does not eat. Hard KOs. Or good game to my opponent. It was definitely a tougher one. Thankfully, we did get Wingull on turn 1, which was just massive momentum in my favor, just to start out the battle. But yeah, honestly, it was a really fun game. Having like the momentum options, but like losing not too early was potentially a misplay. I'm not sure why Sandstorm was there, but potentially just for like chip breaking sashes and stuff. Although Sash Diglett wouldn't be affected by it. But getting the Sandshrew early on with Oddish was also really helpful, and I didn't even lose my Eviolite, which let me know that I could guaranteed 1v1 the Spritzy at the end as long as I had my Oddish preserved, and so kept that up. And yeah, we were ultimately able to pick up the dub, I believe 3-0. So yeah, until next time, Jesse504 out.